Hello, everyone. We are live today, August 1st, 2023. Welcome to August. I'm just here. Oh, I see some people showing up. That's great. Leave me a, leave me, hi, Beverly. Should have known it was you. You're always around. You're such a great supporter. We are in Southern Ontario today. I am in Southern Ontario today. And it seems that our weather cannot decide whether it wants to be winter, spring, or summer. Hi, Kathleen. Uh, it seems to be a day-to-day thing, right? So yesterday was rather cool out, very surprisingly, because we had triple digit temperatures the week before. Oh, so hot. It was just so hot. And the problem here is that the humidity is so high, right? So it feels like you're trying to breathe underwater. It's just so uncomfortable. Um, but we have air conditioning and we stay inside, and that's the best you can do, right? Today, yesterday was cooler. Yesterday we didn't even have we could open the doors and let the air out. It's so nice to get some fresh air in every day, right? Uh, Today's a little overcast, but the good thing is this: I can see clouds in the sky, and if I can see clouds in the sky, it means that um, we're not covered with a smoke dome, and that makes everybody's breathing better. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Glad to see you pop on today. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but I did want to talk about breathing for a change, because I always talk about breathing. So I went to my doctor. Oh, by the way, before we get started, happy August 1st. Where the hell has the time gone? I just want to know, where has this year gone? I turn around and before I know it, it's August. And Christmas will be here right around the corner. And when that happens, we know that the year is almost over. How does it happen? It just flies. Time just goes so fast. Oh, and I'm looking at my little grandson here and I'm thinking, why are you growing up like this? Why? But he was here this weekend. I got to tell you, he was here this weekend. He stays with us. He stays overnight almost every weekend. But, anyways, this time he came. He was a really good helper. He could get stuff for Granny and help me with stuff. And he was really good at it. He wasn't, usually he says to me, Granny, I can't do everything for you. But this time he was great. He was getting me water and yeah, such a good boy. Anyways, I went to my pulmonary specialist. I don't know what you call them in the States, pulmonary doctor, whatever. And so he took blood, took blood. Now this guy always takes blood on the way out. Not my last doctor would take the blood on the way in, and he would get the results before I left the office. But not this guy. He takes the blood at the end, and then I go home and I'm sitting waiting for him to do something about the results. And he doesn't even look at the results until I visit him the 6 months, the next 6 months. So I'm not really happy about that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it, but I'm not really happy about the time frame. So, anyways, he did all the blood work, and I was worried about being a diabetic because my husband is diabetic, and we eat the same diet, right? So I was kind of worried about that. And my husband had a lot of trouble recently with his blood sugar. To hear him yelling at the dog, she will not stop barking today. I don't know what's wrong with her. Anyways, he's had a terrible time with his blood sugar, and he's been up at like 23 to 25 and really not feeling well at all. So, anyways, Jeff, I thought so. But the last time I went for my CAT scan, which was in September, um, they thought I had cancer in the thyroid. And there was a note on my, your chart, my chart, but he never contacted me about it. And I didn't know anything about it until I finally read it when it was December. And it took me until February to get that checked out, March actually, to get that checked out. It was pretty scary, right? Because they said right on the CAT scan, it was suspicious. So I don't know. He never got a hold of me. So one would think that he would, but he didn't. So this time the blood work came back and everything's fine. Blood glucose was good. Yay, I got another year not being a diabetic. Because I think we're all going to get there, right? I think it just happens with the breakdown of age. You are spoiled, Beverly. So everything came back good. My blood glucose was good. My potassium and magnesium were up. And I was like, wow, because I am always low in potassium and magnesium. But carbon dioxide's very high. So I don't know what to do about it. It is way higher than normal. And when they give you the blood test results, it's got a little triangle with a poison sign. I don't know if it's poison or what it is, but it's like, flag this, flag this. So carbon dioxide's high. So I don't know what to do about it, right? So we know that I am a retainer of of oxygen, and this causes carbon dioxide buildup in the lungs. And so my doctor suspected this, and I took my BiPAP down. He had a look at my BiPAP results, and he was surprised to hear or to see the results that I had been using my BiPAP consistently. But he didn't say anything, and so he wanted these blood tests, and he must have suspected something because he did a arterial blood test, which yes, I did, Norma. That's what I had, an arterial blood test. So now he's got the results, but he doesn't do anything about it. So I took it to I made an appointment with my family doctor, and I took all the results with him, and I said, "Can you explain these to me?" And he looked at my test results, and he said, "Holy crap, your carbon dioxide's really high." I said, "Yeah, thanks for that." And he said, "There's not much you can do about it. Like, there's really not much I can tell you about it." And this just goes to show you that doctors really don't know a whole lot of anything when it comes to COPD. I know that they're very knowledgeable. I know that they know what they're talking about most of the time, but so now I have to go search for information on retaining carbon dioxide. It's very dangerous. It is probably what caused my first and second attack, or it's very likely that it was the cause. of my first and second attack. When I went in the hospital the first time, they couldn't believe how. So your carbon dioxide should be around under 5. Mine is at 7. I don't know if that's high or not, but they said it was high. So now I have to go and find information on breathing and being a retainer. Guess what? All of the information that I saw, and these aren't all respiratory therapists, but they are all experts in breathing. I put a few of them up on my page, and a couple of people said, yeah, they really enjoyed them. So this guy that I was watching, he said that the only cure is breathing through your nose. And I think the video was titled "Shut Your Mouth." Stop breathing through your mouth, because it makes sense. When you're breathing through your mouth and we're gasping for air, we're usually breathing through our mouth, and we're taking big gulps of air through our mouth. If we breathe through our nose and concentrate on our breathing, the little hairs in our nose will warm keep the particles out that we don't want, that we're ingesting when we're open gape mouthed breathing. The nostrils are warm, and they will warm the air before they get down to the lungs. So I've been trying to do this. This is easier said than done. And I finally got into a position where I was actually closing my mouth. I know that's hard for you guys to understand. And breathe through your nose. So now I'm making a conscious effort to actually breathe through my nose, and it's not as easy as you think. When I concentrate on it, I can do it. And I think I've been talking about this for over a year, but I finally got it when I saw this, when I heard this guy talking on the video. And, he's not a doctor. He says he's not a doctor, but he is a breathing specialist. So I got that. Does anybody else have problems breathing through their nose and not their mouth? Because I'm wondering, is it only me that takes gaping mouth breaths? I wish I was a nose breather. And I remember, like, after I had surgery, anytime I had surgery, which wasn't very often, and the doctors would say to me, okay, deep breaths through your nose, deep breath, take a deep breath. Because I can't, breathing through your nose is the most efficient way to breathe. There's no question about it. And I've been talking about this for quite a while, right? What is this is the way that I breathe? What does that mean, Jeff? This is the way I breathe, unless exercising. Through your nose? I can't believe that you're all nose breathers. I'm a mouth breather. I'm always breathing through my mouth, to the point that my mouth is always dry because I'm always breathing through it. I can't believe that you guys are nose breathers. I do too. But you know what, Peggy? It is a learned thing. It is a learned, um, and breathing through my mouth at night, I think I'm getting too much oxygen, and too much oxygen for me builds up to carbon dioxide. And my doctor actually said to me, I know he had this on his mind. Um, he actually said to me, I'd like to see you sleeping sitting up. Does anybody sleep sitting up? So I have a wedge and I use my wedge, but the problem with the wedge is that I slip down. I just get up on top of the wedge, I get to the top of it, and I can feel myself sliding down within 30 seconds. So, Pat, how do you sleep sitting up? I want to know how you do this. I don't know that I can do this, but oh yeah, in a recliner. In a recliner would be good. It would be a best place to go sleeping, I think. When well, about 40 years ago, I had a gallbladder surgery. And in those days, they didn't take it like laparoscopy like they do now. In those days, you were cut from the breastbone down to your waist, and they took out your gallbladder. At least they did that to me. And I actually could not lay down in bed um, for a good 6 to 8 months after I had the surgery, and I had to sleep in a recliner. It was okay, I think, but not ideal. I think we had to borrow a recliner. We didn't have one in those days, and I think we had to borrow one from somebody. I don't know where we got it from, but whatever. I don't have it now, so I'm the kid sleep sitting up in it. Lots of pillows, eh? Wow, that's pretty cool. So I'm working on expelling carbon dioxide from my lungs. And it's the one thing, because everything else in my blood work, everything else was perfect. Uh, yeah, I can't either. Yeah, it's supposed to, Jeff, but guess what? Guess what? It's not working. And it's at the highest, the the levels are at the highest that they can be. This is the highest. And I'm not wearing a CPAP, I'm wearing a BiPAP. And yes, that should lower your carbon dioxide, but it doesn't. Um, it doesn't work for me. So I'm looking for solutions, if anybody has one, to what you do with carbon dioxide retention and uh, how we get rid of it. So August 1st, 2023 is here upon us right now. I hope that everybody's enjoying their summer as much as possible. I see in Texas, they're having triple digit temperatures, and they're lasting a long, long time. Like Fred used to say how hot it was. You couldn't have any windows open. You couldn't have any curtains open. You had to cover all your windows. It was just terrible. It looks like that's not going to end anytime soon. Um, so what's up for this week? Yeah, there is, Nicola. I could talk to this doctor if he'd call me back. Um, they do my BiPAP from the office. They have the control over the BiPAP. So if anybody needed to change it, it would be them. the doctor and the respiratory therapist that's on staff there, but I haven't heard anything from them about adjusting. But maybe I'll just give them a call. Maybe I'll just give them a call and see. What do you think? Do you think I should call them? Letta and Pat just connected here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to call them. I'll give them a call tomorrow, early in the morning, and see what they've got to say about this carbon dioxide. It kind of set me back when my family doctor looked at it and went, "Oh crap, that's high." I thought, "Whoa, thank you." So, anyways, let's end with this. When you do what if thinking, instead of allowing it to take you to a place of anxiety and thinking that it's going to happen and that nothing good can come of it, use that what if thinking as a fantasy. Very often we dream about winning the lottery and we can play that movie in our minds, what would happen and how it would look, and the feeling that you would have from winning the lottery. But it's actually just a fantasy. You can think about it as much as you want, but it's probably never going to happen to you. And if we use our what if thinking as a fantasy, instead of looking at every what if situation and allowing it to fill our minds with anxiety, and what accompanies that, the stress, the anxiety, um, I'm focusing on my wellness and not my illness. And I'm going to stop talking about my illness all the time, which is pretty hard because it's what we do, right? But I had some very positive thoughts when I said that I was concentrating on my wellness instead of my illness. And I think it's a good thing for all of us. So, my last question for everybody today: does anybody have a hobby, or are you thinking of getting into a hobby as the fall progresses to us? Because, things are different in the fall when the summer's over, and giving it some thought now might not be a bad idea. This is Barbara Moore for Catch Your Breath 60, and I appreciate everybody who showed up today. Thank you so much for sticking with me.